for joining me once again. And now for something completely different. I figured I'd sit down because you haven't seen this smiling face of mine for a while and have a little bit of a heart-to-heart with Boo, give you an idea of a little more of how I tick. I opened up with the screenshot of Ken Chenier's comment simply because pretty much Ken, aside from Terrible Dave, are the two individuals that have known me the longest. Ken and I met when he was 15 and I had just turned 16 and we were in high school together. I guess to synopsize some of my teenage years, it was rather turbulent as I was out of control, bounced from school to school, had a fractured, volatile relationship with my mother, and was on the precipice of becoming a intravenous drug user, which I did for a year or so from 16 to 17. So Ken has had the advent of seeing me as a teenage troublemaker in school that on one hand was nicknamed a brown noser because of my ability to sort of facilitate the educational workload as well as cause shit in high school. He's seen the dynamics of the relationship with my mother as well. He knew how fractured that was. And for a while, Ken was, we were like this. As time would go on, he saw me progress into, as I mentioned, that coke, methamphetamine, intravenous drug using, little criminally minded individual that was that toxic friend. I was that kid that your parents didn't want you to hang out with, pretty much for most of my life, because unfortunately, for whatever reasons, I started making the wrong choices at a very early age. My first assault charge, unfortunately, was when I was a 9-year-old. I think I'd stolen my first car by the time I was 12, and I was in and out of family court as a juvenile delinquent up until I was 16, and then that trend unfortunately continued into my adult years, and I got in shit. Subsequently, in my mid-20s, Ken saw the incarnation of me that had some success in life, but then again, based on choices I was making, I was at that point in time running with a group of individuals that like to expropriate goods from businesses. We'll just leave it at that. I was a very selfish individual. I was very me. Again, it was a culmination of making a lot of incorrect choices and being selfish, not selfless, not being mindful of others and the path that I was on. But again, as I've often opined in my videos, you do not progress in life by being stagnant. You have to learn by experiences, and usually it is the negative experiences that you have and you take something away from that allows you to develop yourself and your character and who you are as an individual and your ability to make those choices and stick with it. So on and off over the decades, I'd been rather problematic, I'd been troublesome, but I was always like that with an underlying residue of caring and loving and wanting to be loved, don't we all? Again, some of the ramifications of my relationship with my mother, they were huge factors on how I was feeling, because there was a lot of physical and emotional and mental abuse on her part. But again, that's not her fault because it was learned behavior taught to her, and she was unfortunately teaching it to me. As you can ascertain from my little opening dialogue here, I obviously got a clue along the way. Today is the 18th of January 2022. This day holds some significance because it is simply 7 days and 7 years from when I was released from a correctional facility. And I was released from a correctional facility simply because I had made the wrong choice. In October of 2006, I made a decision that unfortunately cost another human being their life. The subsequent 8 years that followed that was a culmination of a rather high profile manslaughter trial in which I was acquitted. And then about 3.5, 4 years after that, because of the same crime, they came at me with a lesser charge. And to that lesser charge, I pleaded guilty and I was incarcerated. I was where I was supposed to be, doing what I was supposed to be doing. That unto itself is a whole other, probably video series, but I digress. I just wanted to let you know that again. Every single day, every choice you make, every single day, the investment that you make into yourself is something that over time pays dividends. Now, if you're going through your life on cruise control, so to speak, and you're at a point where you're comfortable, you have an income, you have a relationship, you may have things in your life that quote unquote make you happy or give you some sort of fulfillment. Sadly, you are just an empty vessel. Because we are in that constant state of flux. We are in that constant state of change where we need to feed the machine. And by feed the machine, it's, did you learn a new word today? Have you read a book today? Are you currently reading a book? Are you making a few minutes of investment into the essence of who you are by meditation? Are you praying? Are you making a physical investment, even if it's only for a few minutes, into your overall health and wellness? Are you eating something that's convenient? Are you eating something that you know is unhealthy? Choices, simple choices. They all culminate in the individual that you look in the mirror and see. Or in this case, because this is my video, all these choices throughout life, they're a culmination of the man that you see before you today. Regrets? I have a few, not many. Would I change anything? There are certain things I would definitively change. But then again, by doing so, I would change the man that I am before you. I'm good with the way things have worked out. I like the path that I'm on, that I have been on. It has been tumultuous. It has been challenging.